Well, it certainly was an epic week in Pullman last week, all culminating into a Cougs win. And the defensive coordinator for Washington State, Tracey Claeys, is good enough to give us some time here. Coach, congratulations on the win. You held Oregon to a season-low 20 points, 150 total yards below what their season average is. But you've had some time in some other conferences, Big Ten, for example. How did the scene in Pullman compare to some of the great sights that you've witnessed in your coaching career?
You know, I think it is by far the best day and experience for a weekend that I have had in my coaching career. Just because of game day, you know, winning the Holiday Bowl in 16 was a highlight for all of us as a staff. But this is the first time I've ever been a part of game day, and boy, it does a lot of great things for college football and the excitement. And it just finished a perfect weekend with us being able to win the ball game for all the fans and everybody here in Pullman and all the WSU alums.
Coach, sometimes we talk to coaches around the conference and around the country, and they'll just say, oh, you know, every game is important, and we're not going to make this thing bigger than others. And some coaches will be honest with you and say, hey, some games are bigger than other games. Your team plays with so much energy when they're on the football field. What was it like leading up until Saturday, just because of that game day experience that you're referencing?
Yeah, you know, is that you have to respect everybody, and I think the thing that makes a difference between the good teams and the ones that don't accomplish their potential is just, it still comes down to the respect for the process to prepare, and you know, Coach Leach is great about that, one day at a time, and you know, eliminate the noise, and you don't try to tell everybody knows it's a big game, and they know it's a big game, but the teams that prepare the best, I still believe, are the ones that play the best on game day, and it doesn't guarantee you're going to win. And so last week, our kids, we had a great week of preparation on both sides of the ball. So they flew around, great job of communicating. So you know, we all would have been disappointed if we didn't play very well after the week of preparation that we had.
Coach, in the first half, your defense was suffocating against Oregon, and then late in that game, Jalen Thompson comes up with a couple big pass breakups. Explain to me this season what you're most proud of as you watch your defense week in and week out.
Well, you look at the fact that from a coaching staff, all the changes that happened on the coaching staff, for one, is that we're all pretty much new except for Ken Wilson. And, you know, as a staff, you know, the kids, all of a sudden you make changes and to get their trust and to believe in you, that's one thing as part of it. And then I think the 4 or 5 of the kids they lost all had opportunities in the NFL this year. And so, you know, we had a group of kids here that have stepped up and competed and worked hard, so for all the changes that have happened since last season, to come out and play as well as they have, it's really satisfying as a coaching staff. Coach Lee said yesterday, it's one of the most coachable teams that I've been around, and that always makes it fun.
Coach, I have Curtis and Yogi sitting on set with me, and I think the three of us fight this national narrative about the Pac-12 not being as strong as some of those other Power 5 conferences. I've referenced at the beginning your experience in some other leagues, but you tell me, do you think that this league, and more specifically your team, are they getting enough credit for what they've accomplished so far this season?
Well, at the end of the season, buddy, you get what you deserve. I mean, I believe that if you work hard and what ends up. I could tell you the thing that the Pac-12, this is my first time being around it, and it is the depth of the conference is much better, in my opinion, than the Big Ten. And you know, Coach talked about that a little bit yesterday, is that I haven't had any experience with the rest of the conferences, but I'll tell you what, from top to bottom, you know, at the end of the year, we'll see where the top of our conference fits out and everything, but from top to bottom, it is as deep with good teams as I've been around.
Coach, Stanford, the next opponent for you guys, you have to hit the road for it. What's the focus and the emphasis this week as you prepare for a team that traditionally has been as physical as any team that we have in this league?
Yeah, you know, one is we got to be the most excited team there, ready to play. That's for sure. And then from a defensive standpoint, is you know, we got to stop them in a running game. No different than what we did with Oregon. But you know, they present so many big sets with so many big bodies, and everybody knows we're not real big on defense. We run pretty good. And so that's going to be our challenge is how well we handle those big sets and be able to stop the run again, and without giving up the big pass over the top. I mean, if we're able to do that, I think we'll have an opportunity to win the game.
Coach, before we let you get going, I'm just curious because we've gotten to know Mike Leach over the years here at Pac-12 Network. What's it like for you to work for him and be on his staff?
Tremendous. Is that when I interviewed with him and he said, hey, I want somebody to come in and run the defense, and he's completely on offense, and so that part's been tremendous working for Coach, and we talk after each game and his share thoughts about the game on the defense side of the ball. And besides that, he coaches offense, I coach defense, and same thing. I'd like to say the same thing for the staff, the people that have been around here. Is that I've had a great time being here in Pullman, enjoyed it, and looking forward here to this next game and the rest of the season.
Oh, that's interesting because you say you talk football with him after the game. We never could get him to talk about football. That's why I'm a little surprised that that's the response from you.
It's the same question every week. It's, hey, what's your thoughts? That's all he asked me after the game. So what was your thoughts?
An open-ended, neutral question. You can take it wherever you want to go. I like it. Coach knows exactly what he's doing. Tracey, appreciate you stopping by with us. Congrats on the success. It's been awesome watching Washington State football, and specifically your defensive unit that I don't think has been getting nearly enough credit for what they've accomplished so far. But that credit's starting slowly to come your way towards Pullman. So best of luck the rest of the way.
Hey, thanks a lot, and go Cougs.